Good morning, welcome back to the channel. So you can see we're back in my shop and I got a new project. As you can tell by the title, this is no longer the gray 240 SX, the S13. I worked out a deal with a buddy of mine and traded it for this 72 240Z S30. So this was in a horse stable, so you can see the cat prints and stuff on it. It's definitely you could call it a barn find, I guess. It's got a LS in it that's custom made for a turbo kit. 240 SX suspension, so it's got S14 suspension, subframes and everything. Big intercooler. Yeah, kind of walk through it a little bit. I gotta clean it out, see what we have, what we don't have, type of thing, and I'll run through a little bit of the history and what I know on this car. And yeah, it should be a fun project to get going. Overall, fairly clean. A little bit of damage down here. Yeah, we'll get into it. Also going to test fit my inky RPF ones that I have back here that were from my old green car, and see how they look. So yeah, pretty excited about this project. I've always wanted one of these cars, and to be able to trade something for it instead of having to front up a bunch of cash for one of these is win-win to me. So we'll get into it, and this will be a nice little build series, hopefully. And hopefully, the goal is to have it running before the end of the year, running and driving. Not necessarily body work. Body work's a whole nother animal, but yeah, we'll get started and get into it. So I started pulling some of the stuff off. Pulled the intake manifold off, the exhaust. Still got to get this manifold off here, and got a picking plate, lift plate. So we'll go ahead and get that manifold off. Looks like we got solid mounts down there. Now undo the transmission. Probably going to leave the transmission in and just try and pull the motor for now. See how well that works. Yeah, we'll go from there. Got all the bell housing bolts out. starting to take a list of stuff I need. So obviously the starter's missing, along with the hardware for the starter. So need one of those. Can't get that bolt out till I pull the engine forward. So go ahead and loosen those motor mounts and get it hooked to the cherry picker and pop this out. I think I'm going to need some bolting for my engine stand though, because those trans bolts are not long enough. So look around, see if I got something for that. I may have to go get something. Alright, let's get this engine pulled. So we got the motor out. Looks like a real nice trans setup. Auto Sports Engineering conversion for the 370Z transmission that's in it. Yeah, so that thing, all that looks brand new, which that's sweet. Got our S14 subframe. Looks like it's got the rack spacers on it, same as the S13 I just got rid of. Looks like you have some AN lines, at least on one of the power steering lines. Looks dry, so I don't think we'll need to rebuild on it. I do want to drop this frame and paint it. Yeah. And here's our LS. Got a nice spec clutch on it, looks like. Don't know if that's used or new. Everything on this motor looks super clean. Like, they took the time to paint the block, everything. Looks like a brand new oil pan, rear sump oil pan. Super clean. We're gonna pull it apart just to double check for peace of mind. I'd hate to throw it together and then something not be right. So, well, unfortunately, looks like everything's already been gasketed and all that, so we'll just do a whole new gasket kit again. I also want to see if the motor, if it's got rods and pistons in it. I don't know. I think I was told the head may be built as well, so we'll tear it apart, find out. Yeah. Got the engine mounted on the stand. Went to Ace Hardware and got some longer bolts for the stand to support the motor. So I did pull the clutch and flywheel off. Does have a 6-puck spec clutch. Clutch looks brand new. The pressure plate looks like a used pressure plate, but brand new clutch. And then we have a brand new flywheel. Not sure what brand. Don't see any markings on it. Came with ARP hardware for the flywheel bolts as well, so that's pretty sweet. So we'll start probably disassembling the accessory drive off of this. I need an alternator. I don't see an alternator bracket anywhere. So yeah, probably pull the valve cover off and look underneath that next. I'll probably cover it for this video, and then next video we'll start tearing into this thing. Main goal is to get the motor torn down, double check everything in the motor, get it all together, torqued up, sealed, everything good. All our accessories, which it was missing a crank pulley. I did buy a OEM GM crank pulley and new harmonic, well, crank pulley harmonic balancer and a harmonic balancer bolt. So we'll get that on. I need an alternator still, a starter, some miscellaneous hardware, a throttle body, a few other things. So start getting a list together and get stuff ordered. And main goal will be able to be getting this thing up and running at least, and then start working out the other things on the car.